This exhibition, Material Girls, puts together my good friend Sabina Ott and me in this two-person show to compare and contrast the ways that we use materials.
Yeah, I'm the second half of the Material Girls. I'm really excited. I was very excited to be invited to do this exhibition. A great deal because I learned that Lynn was going to be in the show, and that became the driving force for me because we, as she said, we have a long history and we have a lot of things that overlap in our work.
I started thinking about just the huge number of commodities and materials that are offered in a capitalist society such as ours, where we used to, in the 19th century, we talked about the bounty of nature. And now we're in this bounty of created, man-made stuff that is sort of inundating us. But I am a part of that culture too, so I wanted to kind of redeem it from its excess. Instead of finding objects to make art, I started shopping, and by collecting these specimens that I found for cleaning implements, kind of like a marine biologist, and take them back to the studio and started looking at them, and they reminded me of all kinds of aquatic creatures. They became this living reef again that I long to protect.
I'm interested in the third thing that comes out of what I know, comes out of history, but is an alternative experience. And while Lynn transforms really real things that we experience in the day-to-day and they become sublime, I kind of do that, but I'm more on the brute side with my work. I'm gathering styrofoam and spray foam. I'm more on a sort of different kind of construction worker than Lynn is. So I'm interested in taking those materials in all of their absurdity and transforming them into a very physical experience that sort of goes outside of what we know. This is a transplant from a piece that was done for an exhibition at the Chicago Cultural Center. The structure of the exhibition was the Divine Comedy, Dante's Divine Comedy, and that I've always been interested in how you get through your life, how you live your life, how you transform through time into a more spiritual existence. That may not be obvious in a lot of my work, but that's kind of the underlying thing, the journey. So I was researching bad things. I was researching medieval torture implements and what is hellish about us and our behavior. And the translation really was just a lot of things hanging off chains that were found materials, harlequin fool's patterns, clocks that were very dominant in that work. The drum set was really because I collaborated with sound artist Joe Jeffers, and I had gotten a drum set. I wanted to start a punk band, and I was going to learn to play the drums. This is a couple of years ago, and so I realized I had no patience to learn that at all. So it became part of the sculpture. So the sound goes in through the speakers onto the drums, and then the drums alter the sound. And so it creates itself in a circle as sort of hellish behavior repeats. That's where this piece comes from.
Sabina and I go way back. Even though we both are kind of humorous and lighthearted in the work, underneath is a deeper longing of connection.
As Lynn was talking about, this is where we live. You know, we live in this space. We make these things. People have these expressive moments with these very common materials that are part of their daily life. And we do that in the material world. And that was given to us. This is where we are. This is where we can do that. And embracing that, I want my work to sort of stand as an example of that.